Wake up, everybody, and welcome back to Ranking Sonic Games with me, Bander SN, and the master of all things emeralds, Joey Spicy Fries. Hey, Joey. Welcome.
How's it going, Bander? Good to see you today.
I'm doing great. I'm so excited. Not because we're talking about Sonic Frontiers, but because we're almost done talking about Sonic.
Oh yeah, we're coming to the end. I'm not gonna call it the bitter end, but man, it's a burnt out end at this point.
Yeah, a little bit. I feel like I'm still excited for the movie, but I'm at my limit of Sonic games here. Luckily, I got it this week because I already played Frontiers recently. So, but you've been charging through.
I chugged along through. Yeah, it was a very long game, so I'm glad I got an extra week to really dive deep into this because I'm not even 50% of the way completed with everything. I really just focused main story just to make sure I got done with this game.
Yeah, I have the platinum for this game when I first originally played it through, so I did everything. There, I gotta ask this question before I forget it. When you upgrade, I think it's speed and your ring, the amount of rings you can have. Does it make you do it one individually, one at a time?
No, there was an option for however much you have for whatever to pay for that. It's upgrade to the max with whatever you have.
Oh my god, because when I played, I think attack...
It didn't have that?
Attack and defend, you can just go as many as you can, but for the two that you have to choose with the Cocos, you have to choose, you have to do it one at a fucking time. And the achievement is to max out Sonic stats, so you gotta do that. So it's literally me sitting there, just clicking that button, blah, 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 blah. Which I find very funny. It's not gonna affect my actual position on this game, but it's aggravating, but also very, very funny. So I'm glad they fixed that, though, because that should not be a thing.
There are a lot of interesting choices made when it comes to this game.
Yeah.
One for me, for sure, that irked me a lot was, why do you get a tutorial zone where you can practice moves, and then it tells you, ready, push the button, but then it puts you into a loading screen? What is the point of this waiting hub to then tell you it's ready if you're just going to go into a loading screen?
That was so janky, and like the fact that when we talk about the DLC, I'll get into the DLC thing, but like it's so weirdly placed. Oh no, I gotta talk about this right now because I played a little bit of the DLC. I did not finish the DLC. You finished the DLC. I stopped playing. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. There were parts where I was climbing this like a giant obstacle course of things, and then I get like enough experience points. Like I get a Coco thing that gives you experience points or something. Something happens where I'm like, oh, I can get an upgrade now. Let me get that upgrade. And I go to the skill tree, select the thing, get my thing, and it's like, oh, teleports you immediately to the tutorial, which is not something games normally do. Normally they just show you the little video on the screen and say, have fun, go try it out. Come back to me if you need me. Because, I don't need to learn how the homing attack works on the fourth character. Or the Silu. My god. It loads you into that little training room, and then when I load back into the game, I'm at the bottom of the goddamn obstacle course.
You're on the ground.
I'm so upset by that. So annoying.
That was horrible. Horrible decision.
This is Sonic Frontiers. It's the most recent full brand new 3D Sonic game. Came out in 2022. This game is so interesting. There's so many fun, unique things to talk about with this game. The reveal of this game was so much so delayed, just due to how different it was. Like they started talking about this game, I think it was at the first Sonic Central back in 2000. It's got to be 2021. They had like a Sonic Central where they briefly teased Sonic running through the forest, the music a little bit, the weird little lettering that they had for it, and we're like, oh, this is interesting. And everyone's hoping for Sonic Adventure 3 or a remake of Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. Like that's the big thing in my fan base right now, is those two things.
Right.
And then we got the full reveal of the game at the Game Awards 2022. Is that right? No, because the game came out in 2020. No, 2021. Game Awards 2021, which I think you and I watched. I'm pretty sure. I think
You weren't at the Game Awards?
No. I went in 2022, which when the game was already
Gotcha.
out. So I think we watched that, or maybe that was Trevor.
I remember watching something at some point with you.
Yeah. So we might actually
early
have
on
that reaction of us watching the game. And then we're going through the game. We see some initial trailers. Things look kind of really, really rough at this game. There's like tons of pop-in issues, which is still in the game. The pop-in issues are still insane in this game. Do you know what I mean by pop-in?
I don't. Explain to me.
So like when you're running through a level and you see things of the level load in as you're running through, like pieces of like rail and springs and walls and stuff like that. Like you see the whole map, like the island is there, but like the things you can actually interact with are loading in like as you're running towards them. That's not good.
I didn't notice that. No.
Because like there's parts where I'm like jumping off giant towers as like Knuckles and Tails, and like I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get to that platform over there, and all of a sudden this stuff loads in. I'm like, oh, I could have
gone there.
And there's like objectives in the middle of the water, and I'm like, I guess there must be something out there that'll load in once I get close to it, because it's heinous. The load pop-in is heinous. It's the worst part of this game. So that was really apparent in the trailers. The frame rate wasn't great in the trailers, which it's all did by the time of this. And as people were playing it, it just did not look finished. There was a huge campaign from like Sonic fans to be like, because we were feeling confident at this point. We had a taste of power from our recent campaign of bullying the Sonic movie makers into delaying the movie and fixing the thing. A bullying decision which made $1 billion and will make $1 billion more.
It worked.
At least when Sonic 3 comes
It worked.
Yeah. So we're like, please, Sega, we're begging you, don't do the same thing you've done 10 times now and put this game out too early. Just delay it. It doesn't need to come out for the holiday. It's okay. It'll do fine. Delay it and fix some of these issues, because my goodness, they're so apparent from these trailers. And the director's like, we're not going to delay it. We're confident in what we have to place. I'm like, okay. And you know what? I think this game is pretty fun. I like this game.
Yeah, for the most part, it is a really good game. I love how big it is. Obviously, the main story, you play as Sonic the entire time. That's cool. I like that. Building up your stats was... I obviously, given the time crunch, I wasn't trying to complete everything 100%, but I just felt like the first island took forever to get past. Maybe it's because I was focusing on too many of the side stuff and not the main story stuff.
Yeah.
But by the time I figured out I'm not going to finish this game in time if I do what I keep doing, I stuck to fishing, and I gained a bunch of credits, and I maxed out my stats, and I burst through this game. But it was still a lot of fun.
Yeah, let's brief aside on the fishing. I really think the fishing's so funny and fun in this game. It's brainless. It's so easy to do, but I love its conclusion. I think that's the exact kind of like fun, dumb things that you can have in these kinds of games.
I know, right? Especially some of the things you could have fished out.
Yeah, 100%. There's just so many funny things you get. You get all this Dr. Eggman voice recording, so he gives you like fun little anecdotes about like past games and stuff like that, which I find really fun.
Yeah.
It's broken as all hell because you get all these like really good power-ups from the very, very beginning, but you know what? I don't care. Whatever. It's fine.
It's okay. I honestly preferred fishing and maxing my stats out over getting... I honestly prefer that way than going through all the levels. I did play some of the levels with the towers, but it just... Some of them were so tough. I was not having a fun time with them.
The cyberspace stuff?
Yeah, the cyberspace levels.
Yeah, for my overall thoughts, I think this game is I think this game is a lot of fun. It's janky as all hell, and it's what I would say is good. It's a good game that I think, to turn a phrase that I'm stealing from, who is it? This woman named Janet Garcia, who did stuff with Kind of Funny that I watch a lot. She says she described this game as, not this game specifically, but a game in a similar realm, as a 7 out of 10 that you love like a 9 out of 10. And I think that describes a lot of my relationship with Sonic games so perfectly. But this game specifically, because there's so much jank, there's so many things wrong, but they did something so different and so weird and wild that I kind of love it for it and how different it is. And now that we've played Shadow Generations, I see the vision. I was pretty down a little bit as far as the future of games. It's like, we're gonna get another one of these. It's gonna be so weird and wonky. But now seeing Shadow Generations and how they do the balance between this cool open world obstacle and really chunky, meaty levels versus like what's in here, which is the cyberspace stuff. I'm like, I believe in the vision. I'm so down for whatever they come up with next. I hope it's more of like a city that you can run around in versus like just this random nonsense. But
That would be so cool.
yeah, so like I do enjoy running around the world and going through the obstacles. They're a little haphazard. They don't really make much sense. They look a little bit out of place on this island, which, you know, it's most Sonic games kind of do that, but here it's kind of especially egregious. I don't love the cyberspace levels. Some of them are fun, but there's the physics is just not right. Something's wrong.
Yeah.
There. You just go flying off corners. Your momentum is completely warped in the entire thing. It's wild. The cyberspace levels just don't feel right, and they're just so uninspired. Like look at this on the screen right now. We're just going through Green Hill Zone, like, and they all felt exactly the same from one another. Yeah. What the hell was that? Did I just jump off that thing? I think that was the game.
What would you do?
I think that was the game just messing up with the physics. I don't understand why I jump like that. Yeah, it's wild, and you can see all the different, like, you can watch videos of just look this shit. You can watch people break down which of these levels is ripped from which game, because like this is from Generations right here. Like,
this is Generations.
I know this segment like perfectly, and it's like it's fun that it's a reference, but it's also like, damn, you guys it just feels lazy at some points.
The chemical plant zones also felt like they were from Generations too, no?
Yeah, I mean,
I could be wrong.
Like, they literally took things from Generations, Unleashed, Colors, Forces, like literally all four of those games they've taken stuff from. And like the justification's like, oh, it's supposed to be Sonic's memories and stuff like that. But yeah, one thing I will say, one of the things that I love about this game, and I mentioned this as one of the reasons why I put this as my number 11 in my top 10 of 2022, is that I love the story of this game. I think the story is pretty neat. I love how bold it is and how much deep Sonic lore we get from it. It's kind of wild.
The story is really good. I do like it. It's got a bit of a darker tone. The Sonic stories are getting a little edgier as we advance more with these newer Sonic games. Like Forces, you know, he's captured, he's tortured, there's war. Holy crap.
Genocide.
Now it's just depressing through most of it. Sonic's he's suffering the entire time. Tails is denying himself. You know, he's doubting himself. It's just like, this is not the Sonic I know. This is not the fun, bubbly, running around having fun Sonic.
I kind of love it, but I also kind of like, I'm so turned off by how the direction they have Roger Craig Smith go in this game, where they have like this awkwardly deeper voiced Sonic. I'm like, what are we doing here? It doesn't.
I was gonna say they went with deeper voices, and Amy was a bit deeper too. It felt like Amy is really good in this game. I will say that.
It feels like she's not like, you know, she's got some typical like, and like, let me speak on this entirely before I finish. But she's got some like typical like feminist kind of tropes that you throw at her, with like, she wants to help the environment, she wants to, you know, like be like a help people, blah 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 blah. And it's not like the most like deepest character traits, but it's a lot better than I am just madly in love with Sonic and that's the only thing that I can even talk about or relate to anything. So I love that we're having like an actual like character with Amy, which, you know, all these characters are tropey as hell, which is totally fine, but
sure.
I also really love how introspective Sonic and everyone is with each other. Like how Knuckles talks about, like, yeah, my entire life I just sit in this island. I don't do anything with myself. Like, that's my purpose. I don't really know what's going on with any of this stuff. Amy's like, I want to do more. I want to help people. I want to go off and find myself a little bit more. She's into tarot cards now. Speaking of feminist traits, she signed me up for an astrology seminar the other day.
Lord.
It's very strange. And then Tails is like, yeah, I've been kind of like disappointed in myself because I've been so just like unconfident in who I am, what I can do. It's like, I know I can do more, but like I just freeze up and lock up. And he's basically referencing the criticism of people have with him in Sonic Forces of being so just like helpless, because we've done the Tails arc of Sonic's not here, Eggman is attacking, I'm the only one who could do something, I have to step up. We've done that twice now in Sonic Adventure 1 and Sonic Adventure 2, which it's totally fine. These are kids games. Who really cares at the end of the day? But it is kind of, it does feel kind of silly when you have Sonic Forces, which feels like a bigger thing, and Tails is just not, he's just not there. And I love that this game kind of talks about that in a fun way.
It's great continuity for that.
Yeah, this is when the writers of, I forget which one it is. Is it Ian Flynn or something like that? I'm going to let this on talk. I love that this is where the writers that, like, the new age of Sonic writers have really started taking over. Because... Oh,
I have it here. Sorry. Ian Flynn.
Ian Flynn, perfect.
Yeah.
Because you can really tell that they care about, like, the actual Sonic story, and they know to do... They know which levers to hit in terms of, like, we're gonna push the story forward, but we're not gonna do it like how, like, your typical Sonic fan kind of wants to, where we're gonna make this all-encompassing story, blah blah blah, that goes in every direction, and then you're left with no ability to do any sort of follow-up sequels or anything like that. Like, we're gonna make a game where Sonic dies for the last time. And it's like, well, no, we have a franchise to do. We have to do more Sonic games. Anyway, so I love these writers. They did a fantastic job in Shadow Generations, and it started very well here. The last thing I'll say about the character moments in this game is just how they talk about being stuck for so long, and how great of a commentary that is on how we, like, Sonic and Knuckles may have sort of talked to each other in Forces, but realistically speaking, those two have not had a conversation since Sonic 06, essentially. Because after Sonic 06, like, Sega was like, we're getting rid of the friends. We're just doing Sonic and maybe a little goofball like Chip, and then Tails, and that's it. That's all we're doing. Unleashed did that. Colors did that. Lost World did that, and Forces.
Unleashed had Amy's though.
Barely, like just like the most minimal amount of Amy possible. Whereas like Knuckles used to like be on the team, he used to be with them the entire time, but he hasn't. Like, they haven't had Knuckles talking to Sonic like that. And yeah, I guess Forces does do that, but in so long and in such an actual way. And I'm like, damn, it really has been a long time since, like, these characters that they try to make as, like, the most iconic things possible with all the TV shows and the movies. And this is the first time they're actually sitting down and being like, well, what's going on? How are you feeling, Knuckles? I'm like, oh, my whole heart. This is beautiful. These little characters. Anyway, so yeah. And the story's just batshit insane with these, like the reveals of, like, what Chaos is and what the Chow are and, like, all that stuff. It's like, whoa.
And now it's the Cocos.
Yeah, well, the Cocos are, like, the wavering spirits of these ancients. And, like, Chaos is an ancient. And we used to think Chaos was, like, a mutated Chow, but it's actually the Chow that are mutated ancients. Right?
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
Like, I think the Coco are the ancients that didn't leave the island, and the Chow are the ancients that did, and, like, eventually evolved into what Chow are.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, gotcha.
And that's why, and, like, they came to Earth because they came to Earth with the Chaos Emeralds, because the Chaos Emeralds were drawn here because of the Master Emerald, not Earth, Mobius. And that's why the ancients went to. That's why there are Chow on Angel Island with Knuckles, because that's where the Master Emerald is, and that's where they came to, like, hide from the end, the big giant final boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That big ass planet.
Yeah. So there's tons of like fun little things like that in this game that like it's like, oh, this is some we're following up on threads from Sonic Adventure 1. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. What'd you think of Sage?
I love Sage. I mentioned this in the last episode. Sage is so much fun. What a perfect new character. It's one of those ones where I'm like, you've created a character that I want to play as in the next Sonic racing game. That's how much I love Sage.
I could see Sage being in a racing game. That'd be cool. Not only that, you added a character that gave a little bit of humanism to Eggman.
Yeah. And Eggman can always just be Eggman. He's fine as is. Like,
sure.
You don't really need too much. But it is nice that like because like obviously what happens with Sage, but like you have like the post-credit stuff of like Eggman. Like, oh, maybe I can bring her back. There's some. Look at this bullshit. These mini games.
Those are pretty fucking bad.
but I just kind of love them as like these like goofball stuff.
They're fun, little map uncovering. Oh no, that was for the Cocos. Never mind. Yeah.
Yeah, like these two Cocos are in love. How do you know that, Amy?
And then boom, here you have a Chaos Emerald.
And Sonic does this little jig.
Yeah.
It's so amazing. I was kind of worried that I wasn't gonna remember a whole lot of this game as I'm talking about it, but I'm just like I have so much to say.
So my favorite line out of the entire game, I gotta say, it's between Sage and Sonic, and Sage asks Sonic, "What is your end game? What is your end goal?" And he goes, "It varies. Sometimes it's a spinning sign. Sometimes it's a giant floating ring." Yeah, I love stuff like that.
It's the writing. It's people who actually get this thing we call humor, and plot and character. And it's a nice magical. It's a good combination to have character, plot, and humor in your Sonic games. Oh no, that Coco just died.
Yeah, there's a lot of that happening in this game.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I really enjoyed how I really liked how you're going around each island. You're collecting Chaos Emeralds. You get to do a supersonic fight at the end of each one. Those are the bosses. And as you're going through, and then you do like the big final supersonic fight, I enjoyed that as a nice change of pace, versus of like not having a supersonic at all, or like saving it to the very end. This was a nice like balance of all those different like styles of progression.
Yeah, I liked the hunt for the emeralds on each island. I thought that was a nice thing to add.
Yeah. One little bit of criticism is like it's a little sluggish in a lot of the UI and the interaction stuff of like when you're going up to something and pressing a button, when you're collecting something. There's a lot of things that like interrupt you. That it just throw the thing into me. Like when you pass through like an attack upgrade or a defense upgrade, it just jumps into you. But when you get like a key, it's like, let me dangle the key above you, have Sonic grab the key, and then load back in. It's just like, just get on with it. In the DLC, when you get the Impact Coco or whatever they are, and it like goes to a cutscene, and it's just like skip, please. And then sometimes you'll get the gears, and I'm like, please don't give me any more of these Impact Coco. I just want gears. Good.
What was your favorite island? Do you have a favorite island?
I'm trying to think, because we had the desert island, we had there's like two kind of green islands, right? And then
there's Kronos Island,
which was Amy's island, right?
Yep, that was Amy's, and then the second, which was Knuckles, was here. Let me see. Got them. It was right like the desert one, right? Ares Island, yeah.
Ares Island, okay.
Then it was Chaos Island. And then there's that small fourth island that was very minor, very just in between. That was Rhea Island, and then Aranos Island was the last island.
The last, like, kind of like towery bits.
That, yeah. I'd have to say mine would be Chaos. I like the third one.
That one's a little hard for me to traverse. it makes it a little bit more frustrating in terms of trying to get around places. But I do like the vibe of the first island. I think that's a very beautiful setting. You can see how much they wanted to ape on Breath of the Wild in this game, and in some of the funniest ways possible, especially when you have like essentially the blood moon in the game with the starfall.
The starfall, yeah,
that's very funny. Yeah, they definitely were like, let's just copy Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey and call it a day. And you know what? I respect it for them.
Those purple coins are a straight ripoff from Odyssey.
Yeah. And yeah, well, I mean, it's a good color to use because it's so like bold and you can see it from so far away.
Sure.
So I don't blame them for using that color. But yeah, they're like the original shots of the game, like trying to depict Breath of the Wild. And at this point, we've been getting so many of these like Breath of the Wild light kind of games that are trying to like pay off that image. Like even Pokemon was doing it at this point. This was after Legends Arceus was already out, so we saw that whole like pan shot of the character and the world you get to explore. And they do the same thing in this one in the trailers. And you know what? Again, I think it's fine. I think it's a fun direction for Sonic. You know, we don't have to have the same exact thing after so many times. Like after Forces, it's like, okay, if you guys can't do like this for like a full-on game, we don't need to do another Boost Formula game. And then we got Shadow, and like, we need more Boost Formula games.
We need more Boost Formula games.
So yeah, what more do we have?
I thought the bosses were pretty unique. The third boss was my favorite, the King. And the only reason for that was the sword slice at the end when you take his giant sword and just cleave him with it. Like
they really knew how to make like some really cool, like fun little set pieces that are all, and the music is just this incredible heavy metal butt rock stuff. It's just it's real fun. It's very special. I want to talk about the combat itself actually for a second with like just your generic enemies and stuff like that. I like the idea of running around finding these like weird, fucked up looking alien dudes to fight. I think the combat is fun. I think that it gives you enough of a challenge to figure out how to deal with kind of each creature. My problem with the combat is you get all these different abilities, and so much of it is just not thought out at all. It's the same. It's essentially the same thing of hit enemy with attack without any actual like function in terms of like what each attack can do. Because it's like you do the thing where Sonic does the spin and does the little cyclone thing, or he does like the and hit, or like the thing where he throws all the orbs at the thing, and they're all just the same thing. It's just here's a thing to damage the thing, and that's fine. But none of the moves actually give a utility to make the combat more deep. If that makes any sense, like it's all just the same thing.
I hear what you're saying. I think what it is that there wasn't. I mean, yeah, there's like 4 or 5 different attacks, but the problem is that there's a light and then there's a heavy version of each one. And it's just once you upgrade to the heavy, the light should be discarded. I feel because then you got too many attacks muddling in. I'm pushing one button. I'm activating another attack. I'm like, I didn't want that, but okay.
Yeah, 100%. Like it was hard to get through everything. I kind of liked how the counter was infinite, like the parry.
Oh, the move. Parry? Yeah.
You could just hold it for as long as you want, and he'll just do it no matter what. Because like it's a kids game. This does not need to be Elden Ring. Like
right?
It's fine if it's not like a perfect parry system. So yeah, and you can
one day when we're ready, we'll get the Soulsborne Sonic game, but not yet. We're not ready for that yet.
Sekiro. Shadow dies twice. Let's go.
No. Yeah, no, the combat was good. I found myself mashing the cross slash attack the most, the stronger one with the X. Just that one was my favorite because you're just hovering around shooting a bunch of attacks at enemies, and yeah, it wasn't all that bad. The boss combat, it took me a second to get used to it. I forgot about parry so often that I would just kept getting smacked backwards for miles.
Yeah, I would also forget about parry. I think in the first couple, and then I think by the time I got to like the third or fourth one, I was like, okay, remember to parry, like
Because you're cutting out, I'm cutting out. Because you're cutting out, I'm cutting out. Hang on, I'm gonna Sorry. If I'm messing you up, I'm sorry.
No, my OBS cut out completely, so my internet dropped completely too. I don't even know if it was you. I think it was me.
Oh.
I'm back now.
I'm so used to it being me is the problem.
No. Because I was looking at the thing. Because I saw my my bars was completely gone. So
Okay.
I don't know if we missed anything there. The YouTube picked up correctly. So it was just kind of like a blip.
Okay.
But yeah,
okay.
so Supersonic boss fights using the parry, very fun.
Yeah, seriously. The pseudo bosses I thought were interesting. Like the bugs, you got the spider, the caterpillar, you got the ninjas, the sumos, like those were so cool.
Yeah, it's fun walking up to them, kind of figuring out how their interactions are going to go, because they're all very different. As you power up, they start to become a lot easier. It made for a game that felt purposeful, like, because once again, I say it a lot here. Who's making these decisions here? Who decided? Hey, y'all, got a great idea here for you. What if we did Sonic, but Breath of the Wild? And the developers are there like, we're gonna have to completely rewrite our entire engine to do that, but okay, sure. And then the creatives are left to fill in the gaps of like how to actually make this work. And I think they did a pretty good job with
yeah, I do too.
Can do. Again, I like running through the obstacle courses. I think it's kind of fun. I don't love how it like locks you into certain camera angles and like forces you to like complete certain things when you're there. That gets kind of janky. And the puzzles in the game, some of them are just so atrocious. Like the sidesteppy one.
Those ones were fun. I liked them. There was one where you had to run for 3 different checkpoints across the map. I didn't have maxed speed yet, so I was just shy. Yeah, in the DLC. That wasn't my story. I forgot.
Oh yeah. I saw that. I did that one. I activated it, and I was like, I'm not doing that. Fuck that. So I just didn't. And I'm just like watching the clock tick down for like 2 minutes, running around doing other things, and you can't pick up other things when you're doing that. It doesn't let you. I'm like opening chests. I'm like, why isn't this chest working? Why isn't my side loop working? And it's because the stupid thing is up there for 2 whole minutes. I'm just like, okay, I guess I'll just sit here, not wanting to do this challenge because I can't unactivate it. It's so stupid. Let's talk about the DLC.
Let's do that. I love this in the fact that you get to play as the other characters, and they all have like their unique abilities.
Tell me the story of it as well, though, because I'm not going back to that.
So basically, instead of going around finding the Chaos Emeralds as Sonic, you now go and hunt them down as Amy, Knuckles, Tails. Whereas as Sonic, you are now doing because it's just a different form of story for this game. For some reason,
it's just
we decided to make a different route.
It's like in Avengers Endgame, spoilers for Avengers Endgame, when they're trying to get the Infinity Stones back in time, and they accidentally drop one, and Loki from the past picks it up and blips out, and we're all like, ooh, that's how we're gonna do the Loki show. That's him right there. That's the start of it. And it's like they had this idea of like, oh, we'll do an alternate timeline version here, but there's no point in the story where that makes any sense.
No, not at all. It's just different. You jump into the ring and it's like, hey, instead of doing this, let's try this. Oh, okay, yeah. I didn't want to, but I did it, and
yeah. So how did the ending actually go?
So you end up fighting you fight the Supreme, But when you defeat it, instead the end comes in, plugs in this freaking HDMI plug into the back of the head of it, makes it a lot more powerful. Now there's a few more rounds.
HDMI cable?
No, it was not.
Oh, no, then there's no 4K 60 with HDR.
And that's why I won.
That's why that was his weakness.
No, it just added a few more rounds to the fight, a few useless, pointless cutscenes. Like, there was one where it shoots out these bunches of laser arrows, and Sage gets in the way of Eggman with a giant screen, but she starts to falter. And then you see Tails, Knuckles, and Amy bolster it with her and make it like a strong force field. Mm-hmm. That was pretty cool. And then you defeat it. I'm not going to lie. I was tired by this point. I don't remember much of the cutscene. I was knocking out by then because this was 2 a.m. I was not going to bed till I had this done.
Yeah. How do you feel?
But yeah.
Oh, good.
Overall,
the
DLC is
for
fun.
The story to exist?
It's giving Knuckles, Tails, and Amy more of a purpose, like you say, as you progress through this game, they're all trying to find their, how do I help out? How do I
grow as a person?
Exactly. This helped in that aspect. It wasn't needed, but it was still cool, and it was fun to play as them. The towers, the Master Trial Towers, I hated them very much. Mm-hmm. And I felt so stupid realizing you could just turn the difficulty down to make the platforming easier. Yeah, that shouldn't be a thing.
I just had so much problems with the camera angles and the physics of how, like, when you launch off certain things and, like, the way it expects you to use the spin dash in these crazy maneuvers. And, like, that seemed like the only way to get through some parts of it, where you had to use the spin dash to get enough speed. And it's like, that thing's really hard to control. I like that they added the spin dash, but because I'm coming into this thing years later, and they released the DLC, like, I think a year later. We appear to be disconnected from my friend and partner, Joey Spicy Fries. We will eagerly await his return. You can see me in 2 screens now. So how are you? How are you enjoying ranking Sonic games? I hope it's been treating you well. We've had a lot of fun here. We're ready to take a break, move on to something else. But you know what? Give it a little bit of time. We might come back with some more Sonic games. There's like ton of spin-off stuff that I'd love to give a shot to. But we're gonna make some changes here as well. We're gonna change the pacing of this so we're not burnt out like this. It kind of sucks as we're going into Sonic Superstars, which I have downloaded on my new Steam Deck. Are you playing Marvel Rivals? That's really fun. I really like it. I like playing as Luna Snow and Squirrel Girl. Those are fun characters to play as. Joey's still not back yet. I guess let me check my phone to see if he's messaged me about what's going on. I'm so sorry, coming right back. Discord closed on me. Oh, no problemo. And so the moral of the story is that Shadow is the best Sonic character because he had the best game. And if they do follow up to Sonic Frontiers, like a Sonic Frontiers 2, I hope that they're able to do something more in like a city setting, like a kind of Station Square, Mystic Ruins kind of dealio. I just want them to remake Sonic Adventure 1. I think that'd be really fun, really nice and neat. And do it like the physics of an adventure game and not like a boost formula game, because I think there's still value there. There's something there. And for God's sakes, bring back the Chow Garden. What are you doing? We need to come together as a society, and the only thing that could bring light and dark together is a Chow Garden, because we're all there. We're all trying to take care of these little freaks and raise them to be good little boys and girls, go to school so they can beat the shit out of each other and race each other. Oh, Joey's back. Hello.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. The cyberspace is not liking how we're critiquing, and it's hurting our stream.
Cyberspace came for you.
It came for you first with OBS.
Well, don't worry. I vamped. I vamped for something. You'll have to watch back to see what I've said.
I cut off at. So how are you?
Well, because you were just like gone, and I was like,
right.
oh, okay.
I know. I heard. Oh, my partner is gone. So how are you? Sorry about that, everybody. Okay. We were talking DLC.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed being able to play as these characters, even though like I just wish like get rid of the level system for these guys, give you all the abilities at the start, because it's weird how, you know, I'm coming back to this game years after the fact. I'm not like seasoned Sonic Frontiers player as I was when I like finished the game. So giving me like this weird like end tier zone with like level 1 characters is not fun. So meet me in the middle, give me all the powers, balance the levels out, and make it more fun than like a weird challenge. But I guess that's what they thought people wanted, was like a cool challenge zone. But it's like, no, I just want to be able to run around, mess around with the characters, have fun with the fun physics, and play around in these levels. I want to go through areas that are marked off for Tails as Knuckles to see if I can make it through these kinds of things. But they don't really let you do that. I like that they give you a bunch of new moves and stuff like that. Like Amy has a completely unique moveset because she's not been playable since 06 basically. And even before that in Adventure 1, her moveset is trash. So I like the fact that she uses tarot cards in her moveset.
Yeah.
I like
so that her hammer too.
Yeah, and I like how Tails can get into the tornado mech. I think that's pretty awesome. And then Knuckles, you know, he's got you know his digs, his punches, his glide. It's all there. The physics is kind of wonky, but I like that they're giving that. You're actually able to do that for once since Adventure 2, basically.
Seriously. I liked that Tails was obviously made as the flying character. They all have to have homing attacks. I did not like Tails not having a homing attack, because there's times where there's springs, and yeah, you can glide into them, but I'm not good at controls, obviously, so I miss them half the time, and it's infuriating.
Yeah, there's some things that they should have just for everyone, just to make it as easy as possible. You know, kind of a fun fact. I don't think Tails has ever had a homing attack.
Oh,
actually,
maybe.
No, that's not true. Because I'm sure he's gotten it in like the mobile games. And like, oh, you know what? I'm wrong. Tails does have a homing attack. Do you know where I've had Tails' homing attack? Yeah,
where?
Homing attack in Sonic Top Golf. He's there. He's doing it.
Sonic Top Golf. What a game.
What a game. Highly rated on this list.
So yeah, for me, really, the DLC does not make my standing for Sonic Forces any better. It's just a nice little addition that makes it fun.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold it against Sonic Frontiers that the DLC is not like as good as it could have been. But I will just say, like, I wish it was more of like a let's just have a chance to mess around on the island and do fun things versus like an actual purposeful like attempt at a story and like kind of gating you off and having you move, because it's like, oh, like when do you get to at the end do you just get to have like free play with all the characters? Because it says, you know, when I first play as Amy, and then you go switch over to Knuckles, there's a point where it says, "Oh, you'll be able to get back to Amy later. So focus on."
I kept saying that. I didn't mess around with that. I just got to that boss and finished.
Oh, I assume you can go back and just play as all the characters and kind of.
I want to say that's a thing at the end, because why else would you max out your stats only to play a couple times with them and then just be like, all right, you don't have to anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. So like that's just kind of what I wanted from this, is being able to like play as the characters and mess around with their abilities and see how they do it, and then hope and pray that the next Sonic game will let you play as them for real.
For the whole game, yeah, okay. That would be great.
Much more purposeful. Real levels as these characters would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, let's see. We talked about the story. I like the implications of like this. It's like this big lore thing. I like that it incorporates, the Master Emerald. It incorporates chaos and Chow and all this stuff.
It incorporated one of Sonic's all-time greatest traditions, a pinball machine.
Oh, that's right. That's right. They did have that. What a funny joke that was, too.
Right?
Yeah.
And I love that they even joked about it. Like, pinball machines must have been around forever.
We've always had ancient pinball. I like the idea of running around this big island because it works. You're the fastest thing alive, so being able to like sprint around this giant island is kind of awesome. It's kind of a dream game in a sense if it just was kind of built a little bit better. It is very pretty. It's pretty to run around this game. It just looks weird that you're Sonic and these weird things and springs everywhere.
Yeah, it just when you put it that way, it feels out of place.
Yeah. That's fine. I with Shadow Generations and how good that was and how much of the vision of this game was actually nailed in Shadow Generations, I'm so confident in what they actually could do in the future. I'm sure they'll find a way to screw it up. I'm sure marketing will shimmy on into the room and be like, "Hey guys, I got a great idea for you. What if we made a Sonic top-down tactical RPG, and we'll call it Sonic Gate, Sonic's Gate." Like that's the kind of shit I expect from this company.
I hope not. I really hope not. No top-down Sonic games, please.
Yeah, my only hesitation about like what the future stuff, and I didn't play Shadow Generations on Switch or see how that thing runs on Switch, but I've heard some rough things with it. What did you play on?
PlayStation.
You played Shadow Generations on PlayStation? Okay.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, my only concern is like they'll want to put whatever the next Sonic game is on Switch as well as like PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Switch 2, PC, Steam Deck, ROG Ally, all these little devices, and it's just gonna make for a big mess of a game. I hope they realize like how good Shadow was and how that should be the direction they should take it in, and not because like it's like let's say in Unleashed we had like this much of the game was the hub levels and like this much of the game was the actual levels, and then here we had this much of the game was hub levels and like this much of the game was the actual levels, and then Generations it was this perfect balance. Keep it there. Keep it with Generations.
As long as you do that, you have the perfect formula.
Alrighty. Do you want to rank some music?
Let's rank some music. We still have a ranking from last week. Have you given a listen to Fist Bump?
I have given a listen, but let's show off our brand new music list. Look at that.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
Look how lovely that looks. I did that last minute just
now.
Oh
my gosh.
We've had 2 weeks to build this thing, and we only have 2 episodes left where we're actually going to be ranking music, unless Sonic 3 has like a banger song we need to add to there. Although I don't think Superstars has anything like that, now that I think about it. Anyways, I'll read the list here.
The movie could have something amazing.
Yeah. What if it's Keanu Reeves something? Number 1. So this is our music ranking list. We've been grabbing all the fun Sonic beats from these games and adding them to our list. This is what we've done so far. We started at Sonic CD with Sonic Boom and have done it from there. Anytime there's like lyrics in the list, so nothing without lyrics. Number 1, we've got What I'm Made Of from Sonic Heroes. We've got number 2, Endless Possibilities from Sonic Unleashed. Number 3, Dreams of an Absolution from Sonic 06. Then Live and Learn from Sonic Adventure 2, and then Escape from the City from Sonic Adventure 2. We've got His World from Sonic 06, All Hail Shadow from essentially Sonic 06, I think, but we're saying it from Shadow Generations. Reach for the Stars from Sonic Colors, Night of the Wind from Black Knight, Open Your Heart from SA1, Speak With Your Heart from Colors, With Me from Black Knight, 7 Rings in Hand from Sonic on the Secret Rings, Right Here, Ride On from Sonic Rush, Let the Speed Mend It from Sonic and the Secret Rings, Sonic Boom from Sonic Boom, Stars in the Sky from the Sonic 2 movie, and I Am All of Me from Shadow the Hedgehog. Today, we have to go back and rank Fist Bump from Sonic Forces, which I've now listened to full on. We're going to be doing Vandalize from One OK Go in Sonic Frontiers, and I'm Here from Sonic Frontiers.
I'm Here by... I can't remember who it's by. But yes, I'm Here from Sonic Frontiers.
Sonic Frontiers main theme. What do they call the main theme? I'm Here, yeah. So Vandalize was like a trailer song that they added, and then I was just like, oh damn, this is really good. And if you watch the uncensored version, they drop an F-bomb in there, and I think that's pretty neat. I love One OK Rock, so I'm gonna be pretty high on that one. Where did you put Fist Bump again?
I had Fist Bump pretty high when we talked about it. I put it at 6, I think.
At 6 below Escape from the City.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about how I feel about it. I had the final boss theme like stuck in my head for quite a while there. It was really warm. That's a good final boss theme. It's better than Night of the Wind. I think it's better than Reach for the Stars. All Hail Shadow's kind of thing. You know what? I like that. I like number 6.
All
like
right.
That,
Cool.
Fist Bump going in number 6. Yeah, I like Fist Bump. I think it's pretty good. It's just not attached to the best Sonic game possible. But you know what?
Right.
Most of these things aren't.
It's true. Alright, I'm fixing it on the spreadsheet right now.
Gotcha. I am loading up my listicles. So then we got I'm Here from Sonic Frontiers. I don't love this song. I think it's kind of
You don't, but you said you loved the metal from it, and that was from it. During the boss fights, that was the music.
I thought they had a bunch of different songs.
That was the same every fight. I could be wrong.
Oh geez, the way I've done this list. Oh, this is oopsies. Let me see if I can.
Frontiers.
I'll just do it straight. I'm not gonna do this right now. Like there's
Oh, I guess maybe they were different each time. Dude, this game is long.
Soundtrack. Let's see. Because like they have like Find the Flame or something like that.
I see.
Let's see.
Well, the metal from I'm Here was pretty good anyway. I see. Yeah,
Azure.
Ghetto had Undefeatable. Wyvern had Breakthrough. Damn, there's so many themes.
There's a lot of songs in this thing, and they're all really fun. But I don't think we need to. We've stuck to them.
No, I think Vandalize and I'm Here are good.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to go with Vandalize?
Yeah, Vandalize. So let's do I'm Here first. I'm Here.
I could put this one lower.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
I'd go with 14.
14 underneath Seven Rings in Hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like it better. No, Seven Rings in Hand is so cool. Well, it'd be 15. Oh, is it? Are you doing above right here, right on?
No, 14 would be above Seven Rings in Hand.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah, no, I agree with that. That's fine. That sounds good.
All right, fixing that right now.
Now for Vandalize. I really like Vandalize. I like One OK Go. It's one of my favorite like Japanese anime bands. They've done a lot of really cool songs. Their whole vibe is just awesome. And I was kind of really excited to see them come in, and it was like the moment of like, oh, we got Hooba Stank, but we got One OK Go. Like that's really cool. Do we have Kid Cudi doing Stars in the Sky?
Kid Cudi did Stars in the Sky, yeah.
Is that right? That's awesome.
Excuse me.
So I think Vandalize. I think it's kind of random. It doesn't really. It's like it's kind of like a. It's a song that kind of talks about Eggman in a fun way, but I don't think it's as Sonic-y. I just like the song. I don't think it's very Sonic-y though. But I would put it above. All Hail Shadow. How do you feel about
I like that. Yeah,
Okay.
that works.
Let me,
So that goes at 8 then, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And then we
Sweet.
have I'm here with me. Oh,
Right,
I'm here
yeah.
above with me from Black
Did
Knight?
I mess this up?
That's fine. That can be where it goes to. I don't care.
Okay.
That might be our last. This might be our final Sonic.
We're gonna get a Keanu Reeves Dreams of an Absolution cover from Sonic 3. And
Yo.
I'm ready for it.
Don't tease me like that. What if what if it's Keanu Reeves singing "Live and Learn"? Could you imagine? Could you imagine? That's number one.
That'd
If
be
that
the
happens.
number one. That'd be
Oh,
the
man.
number one.
Okay, luckily this list played very nice and was able to update very nicely. Save. Yes. And there we have it. So our new number 6 Fist Bump from Sonic Forces, our new number 8 Vandalize from Sonic Frontiers, and our new 14 I'm Here from Sonic Frontiers. Good stuff. I like it. I like that they committed to more lyric songs. It's just, it needs to happen in Sonic games. It feels weird when it doesn't. Looking at you, Sonic Lost World and Sonic Generations.
Dropping the ball, guys. Come on.
Dropping the ball. Okay.
All right.
It's time.
Is it
Let's
time?
get to the list. We're over here now. I get the pleasure, the
Have
honor
fun.
of reading this list for you all this week. And I'm realizing now that I will be the one reading the list next week as well. And look at that. We got 3 things left. It's the perfect amount. Who would have thought? Who could have foreseen this? Did I add Sonic Top Golf to this list just to make it so that I didn't have to edit it again? We'll never know.
I mean, we did add quite a few extra things here.
Yeah,
So it kind of works out in the end.
It did work out. Number 1, we have Sonic Mania. Remember Sonic Mania? Oh, take me back. Number 2,
Yeah.
Sonic 2. Number 3, Shadow Generations. Number 4, Sonic and Knuckles. Number 5, Sonic Adventure. Then Sonic Generations, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Rush, Sonic Advance 3, Sonic Colors for the Wii, Sonic 3, Sonic Unleashed for the Wii, Sonic the Movie 2, Sonic Unleashed 360, Sonic the Movie, Sonic Advance 2, Sonic Heroes, Sonic Forces, Sonic Rush Adventure, Sonic CD, Sonic Advance 1, Sonic 1, Sonic Top Golf, Sonic Lost World, Sonic 4 Episode 2, Sonic and the Black Knight, Sonic Colors DS, Sonic 4 Episode 1, Shadow the Hedgehog, Sonic and the Secret Rings, and Sonic 06. Where are we putting Sonic Frontiers? We've had a lot to say about this game, good and bad. So I am kind of in a bit of a higher spot for it, but not like we're in the teens here, I think.
I'm nowhere above 15, I'll say that. And when I mean that, I mean nowhere within 14 to 1. It's going to be 16 and up.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Definitely not. It's not better than Unleashed 360.
So it's going to be 16 or 17 for me. Because I feel like 1 through 17 is like the higher side of the list.
Yeah.
You know?
It's between hero. Is it above or below Heroes? I would say, because my only thing with Heroes is that you have to play through the game 4 times, and that's another thing I have. Big problem I have with Shadow. With Shadow you have to play through like 10 times, but Sonic Heroes is a lot of fun, a lot of good music, a lot of good stuff in there. There's a lot of weirdness with Heroes though, and jank. Not that Frontiers doesn't have jank. Frontiers has a ton of jank.
Frontiers has plenty of jank.
Yeah. What do you think?
I'm going to put it above Heroes.
Okay. And Sonic Advance 2 is also, that's a great game. Sonic Advance 2 is good.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's just a weird parallel. That's a Game Boy game compared to a now PlayStation 5 game.
Yeah.
Like, it's massive.
That's where it comes down to. Does Advance 2 as like this small focus experience nail what it's trying to go for? And I think it does. Like Advance 2,
Yes.
it's just a great 2D Sonic game. It's kind of held back by being on such a small screen that it's hard to see where you're going. But yeah, I like that. I like 17 for it.
All right.
It's going to
Sounds
finally
good.
banish Sonic Heroes to the right side of the screen.
It's sad, but it has to be done.
Sonic Heroes. Did I spell that right?
Heroes.
Yes, okay. Alrighty, let's get...
Hi, Sonder King. How are you today?
Welcome to the stream. We're wrapping up, and we're gonna start on Superstars. Sonic Frontiers at number 17. Let's export this as a PNG file. Exciting stuff, thrilling stuff. Ranks. Yes. There it is. Sonic Frontiers, our new 17. And with that, we have 2 things left to rank here. We've got next week, we are doing Sonic Superstars. I'll be coming back from my trip to the Game Awards, where we, of course, know Sonic and Shadow Generations will win Game of the Year. I'm confident in it. Did it just get knocked off with a fan vote? Who's to say? Don't worry about it. I'll steal the Game Awards. I will be the Bill Clinton kid this year.
Oh my gosh.
And that's a threat, Jeff. No, I will not. I will not. I'll be a well-behaved gamer.
You've been warned, Jeff. Watch out.
I've been warned. Don't push your luck. We do have one more important thing to talk about.
Is that the Knuckles TV show?
Oh my god, I totally forgot about it. I gotta watch that. We gotta watch that. We
have to watch it still.
Oh, we forgot. We gotta rank that. Oh no. And
okay,
Knuckles.
it's gonna ruin the rank. No.
The ranks. No. We'll have to get rid of something. We'll have to get rid of Sonic 3.
You know what? You didn't do Sonic Colors DS. I'm willing to just drop it from. How about that?
Drop Sonic. No, we'll just add it to the list. It'll be fine. I'll make it work.
Fine.
We gotta have integrity here. This list is about integrity. Did you watch the most recent Sonic 3 trailer?
No, I haven't. I'm staying so out of trailers and everything until I see this movie.
So you don't.
Don't make me watch it right now. Don't make me watch it right now. I don't want it.
Well, I've watched the trailer. There's a moment in the trailer that happens that is the most like, oh my god, I cannot believe they did that. Of all of the things, of all the references, of all the things they could pull from this history of this franchise, that moment right there was like they've got this. They have it in the bag. There's no way this movie can be bad. It was just like, I was just like, you guys, how are you able, how did people at Sega go, yeah, that's a good idea. We want you to reference that thing, that horrendous thing that we did, and put that in this movie. I'm so excited.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, go watch the trailer if you want, people. It's very fun, but don't feel like you need to, because spoilers are always a thing, and that moment will be very cool in the theaters. But yeah, next week, next Sunday, we are going to be reviewing Sonic Superstars, a game I have not played.
Me neither.
A game that I've heard pretty good things about, but not great things. So I'm excited to see how this goes. This was the team that made Balan Wonderworld, so that'll be fun. One of the worst games of all time. And yeah, and then a couple weeks from now, the big one, Sonic 3.
Yes. And Knuckles.
All right, that's all. It's been a long show.
That's Sonic Frontiers. Thanks for joining us.
I promise we'll have a shorter show next week because we won't have much to say about Sonic Superstars. But until then,
yeah.
I've been Bander, I said. That's been Joey Spicy Fries.
We'll see you next week.
Sonic games. Goodbye.
Yeah, bye-bye.